Hi, I'm your host. My name is Brandon. I'm sure you've heard many other... I would hope that you heard the other ones. This is
your tape?
Yeah, this is your tape.
Welcome to your tape.
Oh my god.
Insert name here. Welcome to your tape.
I'm the host. I'm the host of the Somewhat Recreational Podcast. It's a conversation podcast. Here I have my guest, Brandon. If you could introduce yourself to the giant, uncaring internet. This is going to be your first impersonation to many, many, many people. How would you introduce yourself? Like, what are you proud of and whatnot?
I mean, I think I'm proud to be married for a whole 5 months. So that's pretty neat, I guess.
Yep, high school friend got married.
I don't know. I mean, I like to think of myself as an outdoorsman. It's kind of fun. I like doing all that shit. Shooting shit.
Nice.
Camping shit. Shit.
You just like doing shit, dog?
That's right. I don't know. I'm not really proud of myself, so that's probably part of it.
Aw, but you're married. That's crazy accomplishment.
Cool. But that's my wife's fault. No, I'm just kidding. It's
Jesus Christ.
It's not her fault. I'm kidding.
This is a good intro. You have any messages for your wife, by the way, before we start the podcast?
Hey, much love. Please don't judge me for whatever I said in this.
And let's begin the podcast.
Let's go.
These high school boys and girls are having a hop at the local soda fountain. Innocently they dance. Innocent of a new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors.
Of course, if you're afraid.
The Somewhat Recreational Podcast.
Yeah, no, for sure. How many podcasts have you done?
Oh, I can check that right now. It's so we got Luke and I. We talked about being old friends and whatnot, which we can totally talk about during the podcast.
Okay.
It was literally us going through the history, when we quote unquote broke up, when we got back together, got the band and all that crap.
Oh yeah.
It was we could invite Luke over if you want. I just texted him to see what he was up to later.
I don't know. I just kind of. Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, it's a little. You got
What the heck?
got the springy chair.
Hey, it's all good. I just don't want to break your chair.
Dude, I don't care.
No, I'm fat as hell. I gotta watch out.
We got the next podcast we did was with World Movement. You've never heard of them. They're an indie rapper group.
Okay.
And there was
I saw it was like a group of people.
Oh yeah, there was like all four of them right there, and it was just me and Shinji in the corner.
Who's Shinji?
Oh, Shinji, he's so you talked to me about my group of friends now, right? I have people when you say that you have less friends nowadays, that implies that you're not doing so hot. But I have less friends nowadays.
They're closer.
Yeah, I have less friends now, but they're all great people.
Right.
Right? Because back in like high school and middle school, you pressure yourself. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have hardly any friends ever, honestly.
Really?
I mean, I had friends in like elementary school, I guess. And like I had remember, because if you don't recall, we were together. We've been friends since like third grade, dude. We go back.
B-Man and BC.
That's right. I remember. I went to like your what was it? Your 7th birthday or something. It was at Family Sports Center.
Crap, I don't know. Would you mean? I remember there was one I did at Amazing Jake's.
I remember Family Sports Center is what I think it was.
I'm trying to remember.
You ever been there? That was where After Prom was.
After prom?
Yeah.
For which, junior year or senior year? I didn't go senior year.
Oh, okay.
I was
scrub.
I didn't have I didn't have anyone to go with. I wasn't doing so hot senior year, right?
You could have just gone. You should have stagged, bro.
None of my good friends were going there. Everyone that was going there was literally someone that at one point like did something or said something that like, they don't like me too much, you know. If Shinji went, and my boy Francisco went, and other people that still
Wait,
like
Francisco?
Yeah, he has a deep voice.
Yeah, I know. I thought you said your boyfriend for a second, and I was like, hold on.
No, thank you.
Well, that's why I was really I was like, wait, hold on, what?
Francisco already has a boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I thought Francisco might have been gay, but I didn't know.
It's weird.
Right.
He's both him and Shinji are in long distance relationships like right now.
But is Shinji gay too?
They're not in long distance relation. What? I
said, is Shinji gay too?
Gender is such a stupid thing.
I mean, I don't know. I think we have totally conflicting opinions on that one, but we're gonna let it be.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
maybe
that's what we could say, and whatnot.
We'll just let that stand.
What's it like dating a man, Brendan?
I don't date.
I'm kidding.
Not a man dater.
That's what I'm gonna call them from now on.
Mandator.
Mandator. That's amazing.
It just sometimes just shit just kind of flies out, and you're like, oh, okay.
You're a man.
That's fine.
You freaking
mandator.
mandators. Always dating those men. Dude, honestly,
Jeez, dude.
you can never offend me. I have such a relaxed opinion, especially on the LGBT shit. I'm like, do whatever you want, just as long as you're not hitting kids with your period blood, okay?
That's pretty important. You're making scarves out of it.
Oh god, that's weird.
Did you never hear about that?
I did. Yeah, she
Dude,
she
she's weird.
snatches them like in her snatch, and she
No, I
ties
didn't.
little knit knots.
No, I didn't hear about that. That sounds horrible too.
What were you talking about then?
This lady like knitted a scarf out of like her period blood, or like she like used like to, I don't know. I guess there's something more to knitting a scarf. To knitting, like you have to like hold it somewhere, and I think she like held it in her. Yeah.
I think no. We
And
are
then,
talking
like-
about the same thing. Yeah, and
But then she like she would just keep doing it even if she was on her period. So there was like streaks in this like giant long scarf with like the dark, dirty blood color. You're like, dude, what?
why would
Why?
you do that? Then it gets dry, and that's not.
That's what I'm
fun.
talking about. It was dry and it was
Ugh,
that was disgusting.
that's nasty.
It was.
I mean, again, do what you want. Just don't hurt people.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's like the end all be all important part. If you're hurting people,
it's like
you know.
don't.
because like some things, you think, oh, that's stupid, oh, that's not, whatever.
yeah,
But if
like
you're not hurting
furries.
people, in the end, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like you have your opinions about it.
It's
and
like,
you're
yeah, I'm not about to euthanize your kind. That would make me Hitler.
something about that. Yeah.
Great. What was I?
I mean, you cannot associate with people, I guess.
Oh, dude, that's fine. Like if I ever met like an actual furry that was cool and whatever, just like if someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, I'm a cool person. You're cool." I dress up as a horse sometimes.
Surprised I'm a furry. I was like, oh, okay.
I would just be like, all right, whatever. You do what you want.
Just don't do it in my house.
Yeah, don't come into my house as a horse,
Please don't.
because this is a horse-free zone.
Did you see that thing about the horse kicking that shit out of the gator?
What?
There was in Florida, there was a horse, and it just aggressively assaulted this alligator.
Where was this again?
Florida.
Of course.
I mean, where else would
Of
it
course,
be?
it's Florida.
Yeah, I went to Louisiana for my honeymoon. We saw some gators there, but
Wow.
No,
Did any of them
no
wish you a
horses.
happy honeymoon?
no, I mean they're all little. I got the hold one. I got pictures.
Did you pick it up or?
No.
Why would you-
It was a whole. That was not a good way to explain that. We went on a swamp tour thing, where we went out into the bayou on this guy with this Cajun dude on a boat, and he's like, yeah, all these people over here. He's doing his thing on his boat tour, and he's like, yeah, so there's this village over here, and he's like, doing his thing going through the village. He's like, yeah, I know almost all of these people. We're related. Most of my, he's like, most of my family lives here. And he's like, I don't know why he told this, but he was like, yeah, and everyone's so close, we leave our doors unlocked. And so I'm like, dude, you're on a tour right now with tourists. If they want to come back, it'd probably be kind of hard for them. But if they did, they could come in and rob every single one of your homes, dude.
Exactly. You should just raise your hand and said, "Hey, where do you live?"
Yeah, he was like, oh, maybe that was a
That's my house. That he has a plasma TV.
And that one's, which one? Hey, which one of you guys has the nicest car? Because they leave the car key. They said something to the effect they even leave their car keys in their car.
That's stupid.
I mean, in little
lo-
towns
lo-
when you're that isolated, it kind of makes sense because everyone is family.
Right.
If you stole someone's car, everyone else would be like, hey, that's Jimmy's car. What are you doing?
I'm stealing it because he left his keys in. Why didn't you steal my car? Don't take it out on Jimmy.
Yeah, something to that effect. But it was pretty funny.
I
I
guess.
forgot.
So when did we get to the alligator part though?
Anyways,
He
so
just
sorry.
he puts his hand in and is like.
Well,
"All
no,
right,
so
here you
we're
go."
doing our thing and we're looking at some alligators, whatever, and we ended up finding, and it's we didn't really see too many, and he was like,
This is boring. Let me liven it up. He starts shooting in the water.
no, so he was like, well, we didn't see too many gators today, but I do have a special guest for you. His name is Elvis.
Did he
Here's
pull it
a
out of the
here's a
boat?
picture. Yeah, pretty much. He was at this little closet, and what was really funny. The best part about it was he was telling us about how he was like, "Hey, just so you know, at the beginning of the trip, he's like, there's certain if we have a problem and I'm not there to help you for whatever reason, there's a flare gun in this closet. There's this, there's that under your boat, under your seats. There's life jackets. If you just in case." But he failed to mention that in this closet also there's a little Sterilite tub. You know what I mean? Those big plastic tubs. And in that tub is a 3-foot alligator. Just chilling in there. Look at him. His name's Elvis.
Why? He's the boat alligator.
He's the boat gator.
He's
Yeah,
if
do I have any
someone's
good-
trying
are there
to
better
attack
pictures of
me.
him? There's a picture of me with him.
That's cool.
And there's a
Dude.
picture of our guide making him open his mouth.
You should. Oh my god.
He was pretty cool, but there's like this
Do you have a
2-year-old.
picture of the guy, or
No, I mean he's just some Cajun guy.
it's like I would post his face in the podcast. You
I
best
mean, there you
believe.
go. There's like a picture of his. You can see his kind of him. There's his company.
That's good. Get some
Right.
free advertisement on the
That's right.
podcast.
It was pretty cool. I mean, there's only like 2 companies out there that do these swamp tours in New Orleans. But-
And we're the only ones that keep a gator on the boat at all
well,
times.
it was kind of cool because he just kind of opened him up. But it was like there was like this 4-year-old, and he wanted to hold the gator, and I go, okay, whatever. And he's like, no, you should not try to touch him like in front of his eyes because
he'll bite
he
you.
might bite you. He's like, he's pretty chill, but you don't want to do it anyway. He's like, it wouldn't hurt you too bad, but again, why would you want to get hit by? Why would you want to get bitten by an alligator?
Right.
So try to avoid these guidelines. This little kid's like, and I'm like freaking
Oh,
out
God.
silently. While these like British people are sitting here like poking this alligator. And I'm
There's
like,
Brit-
dude, you're gonna kill yourself.
There's British people.
There's British people.
God
I think
bless.
they were Canadians actually. Like the oh no, not
Those are
Canadians.
entirely different.
No. I think they were like because that's French. I was trying to think because there's
hitting,
Canadians.
You're hitting all the
There was
different
okay,
whites out
okay.
there.
There were Canadians there and there were also British people. That's what it was. There were some people from Quebec. They were there. And
Okay,
then there was
there's
also.
there's many
I
colors.
mean, yeah,
of
because
the
I mean,
milk.
it's people
Okay.
going on a tour boat. But I couldn't believe this little kid's like freaking here poking this alligator in the face and it
Just
did
like,
nothing.
"Ha ha, let
It was
me
just
touch
it
it."
was just chilling.
If I was the tour guide, I would pull it out without telling anyone. Be like, and I would just like point.
Just hand it,
I'd
just
hold
hand
it.
it to somebody.
No, I would hold it in front of people's faces. Like, can you thank you? And then we just keep driving.
I would love if he was just like, here, hold this. And you're like,
It's like, or I would either do that or I would take it out and I would just throw it on the boat and I would just keep
go
driving.
on the boat, keep going. It was really funny. That boat was really slow, but then he was like, okay, now we're going to pick up a little bit of speed to get between, because there's like a bunch of open water.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, we're going to pick up a little bit of speed just to get it going. And all of a sudden this boat gets up in boogies, man. It it cranks up like boats do, you know?
It,
And
starts leaning back.
Like, you know, when fast boats start to lean
God.
back as they go, this boat starts doing it. It's like a pontoon boat. It's like this big, I mean, not the same, but it's like a big, wide boat. It just, you're like, dude, what is happening?
I would freak out.
It was awesome.
I've seen videos of boats going so fast they flip over and
Oh yeah,
everyone just
the boat
dies.
races and stuff. Like what do they call those, hydroplanes?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen those. They just
Yeah, and then
dude,
everyone
what?
dies the second they touch the water because they're going so fast. It's like concrete.
Yep.
That's why I'm like, I don't
Yeah, no.
have.
I was just surprised because this boat freaking got up and boogied. It just was like, here
That's
we
a
go.
really cool phrase, by the way. Got up and boogie. I'm saying that from now on.
I use it for cars too. Like, man, this thing really gets up and boogies.
I'm gonna be on a date with a really hot girl, and we're gonna be merging onto the highway.
Let's
and I'm
get
like,
up and boogie.
We gotta hold on, babe. We gotta get up and boogie.
That'd be
It's
pretty
like
good.
I'm getting out of the car now.
Going 65 because you got up and boogied.
Well, we didn't get up and boogie yet. We're still
Not yet. We're
getting
we're
onto
at the cruising part, so she
I
just
just-
rolled
she just
off and got
walks
ran over by the
away.
guy getting on.
Right.
Right.
I love merging onto the highway.
We just got a new car. It's a Mazda 3, 2016. Oh, dude.
2016. Jesus.
Yeah, we got a really good deal on it because our uncle's a car dealer or a car salesman. So we got some pretty good interest rates on it and stuff. But it was a nice car. It was
I have a good old
14.5.
Really?
It was like the price for it. Yeah, about 14 grand.
That's unbelievable. 2006.
2016.
16. My bad.
Yeah, I know. It has like a little chip on the mirror, but it's something literally we're getting a parents thing on it. Like it's supposed to be Wednesday, but we're gonna get it redone because we have to get paint. But like literally, we're just getting like you can look up what kind of paint they use. It's like Mazda 6, I think is what the paint color is.
Jeez.
But it's a black, and you literally can spray it there, and then we're getting the appearance protection on it, which is gonna make it more resistant to like bird poop and just stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. And we're getting the thing on the front of it too. It's called a bra coat, where it puts it like on the hood of the car, and it's clear.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does is it kind of keeps like your hood from getting chipped and stuff from like rocks and.
These are all amazing sounding things.
Well, we got really good deals on it. The car dealer, if you ever go and get a new car and get a loan on it or whatever, there's a guy you go. So first you go with your salesman, and the salesman walks through everything, and then eventually you meet the finance guy, and the finance guy is the guy who freaking gets
Does
you
it.
all the money, or gets all the money because he's like, oh, you need this, you need that, you know. Thankfully though, because we were family, because it's our uncle.
Yeah,
And
his
then the
door was
finance guy
unlocked,
was
so
his
you could
friend.
just walk in
Right,
and
yeah.
ask for assistance.
Of course. Well, no, So the finance guy knew that it was, our family. He's like, well, look, he's like, I wouldn't offer any of these premium packages to my family, not where we live. He was like, but this stuff is good. And so we got because we went to the Toyota dealership and we got their thing. They've got a thing like, I think every 5,000 miles they'll do our oil changes and stuff. Nice. Anything breaks, they've got a whole bunch of part stuff that's covered. It's awesome. So we have a lot of really good insurance stuff. But
dude, that's amazing.
I know, so exciting, car insurance, but.
Yeah, you're just a straight up adult at this. The second you start like talking about car insurance,
so that's
and all
my
that
wife.
Stuff. Oh, okay. Speaking of tell me more. I saw her I went to. I feel I got not guilt tripped. I kind of wanted to, but I used to back when we were in senior year of high school, for I want to say a month straight. My mom. And my mom was unavailable to take me to work. I mean, to school, right? Early in the morning. So I used to get up at 5:30.
Oh, that's right. You had to go to. That's right. You had to go to Mormon seminary.
Thanks to my boy. Shouts out to Cameron, Cram Boy.
That's right. It was Cam Boy. Dude, do you remember a sophomore year we used to hang out with him? That's a whole different topic.
Oh, God bless. Well, we'll get to there, but I got guilt tripped into going into the Mormon seminary and whatnot because I felt bad. I was like, you know what? That's another topic I hope we could cover up as religious stuff and whatnot, which is going to be a very big topic. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, jeez, dude.
I know it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun hour.
It's interesting, to say the least.
But so I used to go there. I swear to God, I want to say I saw your wife 3 times, like 3 times.
Well, senior year she didn't really go hardly at all. She went once.
I know,
but junior year she went a lot, but.
Yeah, I think exactly. I saw her 3 times, and before I know it, someone's telling me that you're getting married.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it was pretty quick.
Man, oh God, I'm 19. What did I accomplish with my life? That's pretty
much all I accomplished. So.
You accomplished.
She's my accomplishment. So there you go.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
I want to say the last greatest thing I accomplished was that I got this yellow shirt off of Amazon.
Right, that's pretty cool.
And it fits.
Hey, that's important.
But tell me,
I had to pick out the shirt.
Tell me, everything. I don't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Tell me, what's it like being married out of high school?
Well, it's kind of fun.
How did you?
It's a little rough.
How did you meet? How did you know that this is happening?
Well, I mean, we met junior year in language. What was it, AP Lang? Mm-hmm. And then we just she sat across from me, and I didn't even really notice her that much. But she listens to she's not a pretty girl. I don't know. I hope not. No, just kidding. She was
Christ.
I'm kidding.
Okay, I got
it. It was she sat kind of across from me, and she was a pretty girl.
Okay.
But I just hadn't really thought about it. And I guess she had been crushing on me, and then she went to talk to. Do you remember Tatiana?
I think she was someone I hated.
Oh, okay.
But oh no, she might have been one of the committee of girls that hated my guts.
Oh,
because I broke it off with
With who? That's right. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I remember that was a thing, but I don't remember very much about that thing.
It was not very fun. I just know afterwards, a lot of people stopped talking to me. Mostly AP kids. So, but I was junior year, senior year. I was in CP classes. So.
No big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah. So she shared from Tatiana that I still had a girlfriend. Because I guess Tatiana thought that I was still with Heather, which was way.
That was such a long relationship.
That was the end of sophomore year. Yeah, it was long.
That was years.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4.
I hope it ended well.
I mean, no, not really. It's funny. She tried to talk to me the other day, and I was kind of
I'm already married. You should.
Well, that was the thing too. I was I'm married, and I'm this is kind of disrespectful because there's a thing that I learned or I saw on a thing, and I guess I agree with it. It's It's a thing, so if you have friends that are girls, they kind of get grandfathered in when you get a serious relationship and you get married,
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. You don't make you don't make close girlfriends after you get married. You just don't. And and the same with girls. Girls don't make close guy friends. You can have acquaintances. You can have mutual friends. Say you both work together. Carrie and I work together. We have people that we think are cool. We hang out with them.
But you're not gonna flip out.
Sort of, right? but you're never gonna hang out with that person by yourself. If I make a girlfriend at work, which I probably don't, or I don't really, but if I did, and we hang out, we would never hang out.
Hang out.
We would never hang out.
We would never catch a movie.
Now maybe Carrie Ann and I would go hang out with her boyfriend, you know, and there's a
Carrie
couple.
Ann's? What?
Her name is Carrie Ann. Sorry. My
No.
wife's name is Carrie Ann.
No, I know that, but Carrie Ann's boyfriend?
No. So
I'm sorry.
Carrie Ann and I
feel
would hang
so
out
sorry.
with
Oh, her
the
friend
girlfriends and
the
her
friend.
and her boyfriend.
So, okay.
Or maybe the three of us would hang out. Like,
yeah.
like for example, there's a guy we hang out with. If we give him rides sometimes, we'll kind of chill with him.
Okay.
You know,
That's it.
That's what you get,
My man.
and that's okay. That's not a big deal. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it can sometimes because some people you can make really good friends with, but you just don't. Like you don't
'Cause
make
you
those personal
yeah.
ties because you need to respect that. So that is one thing. Is I guess if you like making a lot of friends with a lot of people of whatever, you don't anymore. That's okay.
Yeah,
You know,
you just
that's
get
not a
over
problem. It's just what you do. But like, so that was the thing.
With Heather, when
yeah,
Heather
you just-
messaged you.
You know, it's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't.
You can't.
She sent something to the effect of, here, I have it.
Oh, we're going to call out Heather on this podcast.
No, we're not calling out Heather on this podcast. She just sent me a thing. Well,
Wish I was there recording the podcast with you. Wink, wink.
No, it was like
That'd be such a stupid
she said
way to
she
say
shared
that.
she shared a post like sending it to me, and the post is like the guy. It says, it's the to all my friends that think I've cut them off. We're adults and busy. No reason to be in contact with you to prove my friendship to you. Just know when and if you need me, I'm here. Like I get,
That's
I
a
appreciate,
little sweet.
I appreciate it. You know,
Yeah.
I appreciate the hey, we're still friends, but the way it went down and the way that I am now, you
Yeah.
can't. It's
You
no,
can't.
You
Would you ever-
You can't.
Would you feel comfortable elaborating on that?
What do you mean? So like, well, I mean, it was just hard. Like,
it was just hard. Because
I had a hard time because we went to different high schools, and so that was hard.
Right.
And she would like hardly communicate with me, and then she would rather go hang out with her friends than, give me a call after school. Because that was that's how you could stay close. If you called each other every day after school, you hung out whenever you could, things like that. And, when you're in 9th and 10th grade, you can't. Your parents are still, mostly in control of you. Of
course.
You can't, if you can't make the commitment to hang out with them every day because your parents don't like that crap. I don't know why, but they're like,
Right.
no, you
'Cause-
can't hang out with this girl every day. So you have to, try to make communication. That she didn't. She wouldn't do it.
Okay.
And then, she'd blow me off for other things, and then eventually, she just. I mean, I don't remember exactly what happened because it just was a lot, but I remember it was really hard on me when she finally did eventually break up with me.
Okay.
I like hardly ate for like a month. It was just
Ooh.
hard.
Apologies.
I just was super. No, it's fine. I was just super depressed. She put me in a super bad place, and it was just hard. And I pray to God Heather never hears any of this because she doesn't need to hear that. She doesn't need to know how bad that was for me because that's not the point.
You guys aren't. There's no reason for you guys to be in contact anymore. I assume you wish the best and whatever.
Well, yeah,
but
I
it's
mean,
like,
I hope she does well, but
Yeah.
it's not.
you don't want like an alligator
I
attack
don't
or
want
anything.
no. I mean, it's just one of those things. But the fact that she keeps coming back for it too,
Right.
Even when I was engaged and when I got married, it was kind of like,
It's a little.
look, dude, you
gotta
I know
back
you're
off.
trying to be a friend, but that's not how this works.
you
Because I
didn't-
remember that was one
yeah.
thing she really wanted. She really wanted to be friends after it, and I think I said
I don't
probably
think
like, okay, but
that's
you
not
can't
viable.
do
That's
it.
not
You can't.
viable.
Now people do it, and I don't know how.
Well-
and Carrie Ann and I talked about this literally like the other day because this was literally just the other day when
Okay.
this happened. So Carrie Ann and I were talking about the other day that you can't be friends with your ex. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I mean, some people can do it, but it's wrong. It's wrong to do that.
Well, my opinion on it is that it just depends on what the relationship was like.
You're right. If it was a small, short relationship, you dated for a little while,
And you guys like
go
didn't
back
even,
off. That's fine.
Yeah, if you
can
like
be
didn't
friends.
even do anything like romantic, you just hung out a bunch.
You can be friends, but
You can just keep
But
doing
Heather
that.
and I were so close. We got, we were very far in a relationship. We were together forever.
Like a decade. I swear to
So
God.
it's you can't after that. Someone that you've been that close to, you can't.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I'm sure there's moments where it's like, maybe, but you shouldn't indulge in that, right? Because the
Yeah.
second you go back, it's gonna go back to the same old issues and whatnot.
Yeah, you
yada.
can't do it.
You just gotta. It's like
There's
quitting a
always
drug.
that thought of like, what if? But no.
Of course, yeah. I used to struggle with that like a lot. Of course, after major breakups in my life.
Oh yeah.
But
Well,
it's like doing like crack and then not doing it, and it's like, oh, I should do it. You
well,
should.
the way to really think about it is because your mind oftentimes will take a lot of the good and keep it. It likes to hold on to good memories because it likes to comfort you.
Right.
But your memory does not remember all the horrible things right off the bat. It keeps them, but it doesn't present them.
Yeah.
But so as soon as you think about it, you think about Like, you just stop and you think, like, what about all the other bad things that happened? Because
course.
it was horrible. And
Yeah.
you don't think about it till after, you know? But, yeah, no, it's, I don't know.
You just gotta sit down with yourself and say, hey, there were good times. Sometimes it's okay to think about them, but overall, there were major issues that caused like a huge rift.
I mean, we grew
just-
apart because of the distance. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's been really fun because it's been really funny because it's been so different with Carrie Ann. Because when I got with Carrie Ann, we've always spent all of our time together. We talked nonstop, which is what we did.
Oh yeah.
And now we've got a job together. We both work at Olive Garden. We both are going into the same field for school. We're probably going to work in the same hospitals when we get our job. It's just what we're going to do.
You guys are just like,
which is crazy. It's crazy.
You guys are ride or die buddies at this point. Huh?
I mean, pretty much.
Nice.
Especially because of, I guess I don't know if it's a part into the religion thing, but in the religion that we're in, we don't believe in divorce. It's a lot of Christians who don't believe in divorce.
Yeah.
And the only reason why you can divorce people is if, I don't even remember I think there's some weird backwards way about it, but like if a man cheats on a woman or cheats on his wife, the wife can
divorce.
I don't know if the wife can divorce and get remarried. I think the wife can divorce and get remarried.
Right.
But that's right. The wife can divorce and get remarried, but the husband cannot.
Okay.
The husband gets divorced, but he cannot remarry, technically.
According
Which
to
is not,
religion.
I mean, yeah,
That's
it's according to religion, but the point is because doing something that horrible, you shouldn't get to spend your life with anybody else.
Because you cheated on them.
Because you cheated on it. You couldn't keep this promise that you made that, God recognizes. So, like, for us, it's literally ride or die. Like, we cannot, like, we cannot get divorced. Which is why you had to think, we had to put so much thought into it. Like, do we really want to get married? Because, like, if we don't, and it's too hard, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, there's stuff you can do about it, but it's not in the way if you want to follow your religion properly.
Right.
And like Catholic Church used to be like that forever ago. I don't know if it still is, but that's how it was, and that's why the Church of England's a thing.
I remember that.
That whole thing, history class, but
well, that's good. So there seems like, I'm sure there's like a lot of like pressure behind it. Then.
No, there's a lot. There's a lot you have to do. There's a lot of responsibilities. I've really had to learn that I really need to man up. There's a lot of things, and it's hard. Honestly, it really is gonna be a little tricky, and it's not hard things, but it's just hard to do it all. It's hard to do it all at the same time, so it gets stressful. But because she's pretty good at. She's honestly really good at taking care of me. She's really good at doing what she does, and it gets frustrating for her because I can't. I don't always own up to the task of being a man, doing all the stuff for her. And so she takes on a lot of it, and so she gets frustrated about that, and that's.
That's fair.
It makes
That's
sense.
a fair point. Yeah.
It makes sense. And sometimes I get mad at her because she gets mad at me, but
There's push and pulls with every relationship.
that's how it is, And it's this is our life now. So we're gonna figure it out one way or the other.
That's
Or we'll die.
Honest. Yeah, love or
No,
die.
just kidding.
God. Okay. Jesus, your face is red, dude. Like. No.
Well, my face is red because I'm sunburned.
That may have been the most mature way of looking at it.
Well,
just cause I
I'm
couldn't.
not gonna do the. Especially there's always the pressure of this microphone that's right in front of my face too. You want to say everything the right way. You don't know who's gonna hear it. You don't want to.
Like, listen. I've been doing this podcast for like a week now, so. No,
Oh shit, dude.
I've been doing podcasts for quite a while. Only now I decided to actually pursue it. When you just gotta not worry sometimes. I do that a lot in my daily life, where I just worry about like what could go wrong. When you're doing a podcast, it's such a mental dive. It's such a, you ever hear like I forgot. Dang it! I wish I knew what the word was, but it's like there's a flow, there's an ebb and flow in conversation and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
And when you're talking to someone and a microphone's catching it, it makes it even like you need to let it flow sometimes, right?
Right. Yeah, because you can't. Well, especially for the purpose of, I don't know where you're trying to go with this, but for the like just in general, like where you're trying to go with it,
There's let's put it this way. Did we do an intro yet?
No.
Exactly. Because
that's not what I meant, but I meant like.
Well, I know, but I'm trying to get to that. It's like whenever someone's having a conversation and whatnot, I've learned in the world of podcasting and podcasting, it's not even like that big of a deal. It's literally just having a conversation, putting it out there.
Yeah.
It's better to just talk and to let whoever's talking just like go throughout their ebb and flow and whatnot, the highs and lows of their story. And if they struggle, help them out. But other than that, you really just want to have the ebb and flow and whatnot. So I believe a lot of pressure when it comes to talking in front of a microphone is trying to force a flow, if that makes any sense, to force a story.
Right.
And just being so self-conscious of the microphone catching anything bad and whatnot that you end up blundering yourself.
Well, yeah. Well, it's just crazy because I'm figuring that Carrie Ann will want to see this, so there's that first thought of like I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to say something that I didn't mean. I don't want to put anything out there because I don't want to, for no reason.
Right.
Do that, and like you don't know who's there. It feels like the whole world is sitting there in this little dome.
In this little microphone. I know.
Yeah, like who's gonna hear this? Who's gonna have an opinion about this? Who cares?
Listen,
is the real thing.
Yeah, the only people that you should care about are the people that you want to watch, listen to the podcast. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you, let's say in the future, hypothetically, you and Carrie Ann are on a long road trip and whatnot, you're listening to the podcast, you're gonna remember this moment. You're gonna remember what it was like. And that's gonna be a very like cool moment between you and Carrie Ann that you've took the time out of your day. Thank you, by the way, to record just your thoughts, your monologues in something that will be ideally on the internet for a very, 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 very long time.
That's the thought, right?
And I know that's a lot of pressure and whatnot, but personally, I don't care. I don't care. Not meaning I don't care about your pressures and whatnot. I'm just saying like. The ebb and flow of conversation is such a great and wonderful thing that when you can find someone that's really good at it, you just...
Well, I mean, that's what we were saying, in like high school, whenever we'd like walk around and stuff, we'd be like, dude, we need to record some of this shit.
Yeah.
You remember that? I'm so sorry. Do you remember that though?
Right.
We used to do that all the time.
Right,
we would be like, dude, we should record this. Like, why are we not doing this?
I wish I could remember some of the examples that we had during
I don't
our
remember
high school
what we
walks.
did, man. It was like we used to walk. Yeah, we used to walk to like the 7-Eleven, and then we'd part ways from there.
That's right. We used to do that with Yumi, Grady. I think.
Yeah, I remember Grady. I wish I talked to him more. He was a cool guy.
I miss
He comes
him.
into work sometimes.
He works at Trails, so let's just go
The
pretend to
rec center?
drown. Yeah, he's a lifeguard.
That's right. I knew that. He's still a lifeguard? I thought he stopped being a lifeguard.
Oh, I saw him. Me and my boys, we work out there every Wednesday, so we got to see him.
Oh, yeah? My
Yeah,
boys.
He was just swimming around. I like to refer to them as that.
My boys.
My boys.
Cracking a cold one with the boys.
That's terrible. That's such a stupid meme. Hopefully by the time this comes out, that meme will be dead
Probably not.
and whatnot.
Maybe they'll do a Harambe and stay around for a whole cycle.
I did a Harambe video, and I feel like the second I posted that, it started to die out.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah.
Poor Harambe.
Did I tell you about that? I was in Hawaii. I decided to quit my job, and it was back when I worked at Subway's.
Oh, yeah,
Subway's is a terrible place.
Subway.
It's a terrible. I worked with this lady that kept making me clean everything, and she wouldn't let me leave until everything was done, but she wouldn't pay me for the extra minutes that I was there. And that's such a bad thing to do. And if I wanted to, I could sue.
I heard Subway wasn't too bad. I heard Subway, it was kind of nice because you could, hang out in that, break room thing and, do homework and stuff when people don't come in.
It's soul crushing, though. I guess I worked during summer, so I imagine that played a role in it. And winter,
maybe.
too. But, oh no, my ebb and flow. Where was I getting at with that?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. So I quit my job, and I decided I'm going to visit all my family members. I think I was out of high school at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And, I graduated and everything. And I wanted to go to... I went to California first.
Okay.
Spent a long time there. Then I went to the Big Island, and after the Big Island, which is...
right, Oahu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not Oahu.
Or,
It's
Hawaii.
It's
It's
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
It's literally Hawaii.
That's right. I always forget because Oahu is the capital island,
Yeah.
quote unquote. But Hawaii, if you're looking on the thing, Hawaii is the bottom right one.
Of course.
It's the biggest one.
And then
That's
I
why it's
went
called the Big
to...
Island.
I went
This
to...
chair scares the crap out of me.
It's a squeaky chair. And then I went
Well,
to
I just
Oahu.
it turns and I'm like, ah.
It's probably going to snap.
Sorry.
We'll have that on audio. But the Big Island, I didn't do anything for a week. I was on an island of lotuses and whatnot. You ever hear that story about
No.
I think it's Odysseus or whatever. He goes to an island and the people there, they eat lotus fruit and they get addicted and they do
Oh.
nothing all day.
That's right.
Anyway, it felt like that and it was really nice and whatnot. Because when
Yeah.
I was in California, we were always doing something every single day. It
Right.
was
Yeah,
crazy.
because they want to entertain you.
But one day we had a hurricane come in.
On
And
Hawaii?
have you ever been inside of a hurricane?
I mean, no.
It's so nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, because, well, it was nice for me because I learned the greatest lotus fruit drink is 1 part green apple, Crown Royale, and ginger ale. It's
Ginger
one
ale.
part, right? And I had so much of that that I decided, let's go
You drink a lot more
shoot.
than I do.
I really do, yeah. I was like, let's go shoot a video, and we did that day. And I spent the entire next day hungover, just like, okay, it's done. So when you go on my YouTube channel and you see hurricanes against Harambe, I am like completely like S-faced for the entire video.
Nice.
It was so much fun though, and whatnot. But
You've always been a big into the video production and stuff, and I just never. I thought it was fun, and I thought I wanted to do it, and then I did it, and I was like, "This is stupid."
it is.
I didn't think it was stupid. I
dude,
was
be
like,
honest,
dude, I
it's
suck at it. No, because I did enjoy it. I did a Minecraft Let's Play.
Wow.
But no, I'm not even kidding because I always thought Let's Plays were cool. Like
They are,
Minecraft
yeah.
is so overdone. There's no, and it's Minecraft, dude. You can't do Minecraft.
Minecraft. How did it go well at
No,
least?
I mean I had like 50 subscribers at one point, so that was pretty great.
Did you have one of those intros where it's like, "Hello, my name is Brendan Hall, and we're gonna play some Minecraft."
And I was like, hey, what's up, guys? It's Sparky2143. You know, whatever.
I'm gonna-
The video. I really should delete those.
I'm
But,
gonna punch some wood.
I haven't got around to deleting them, but yeah, no, it was kind of interesting to say the least. And I like just went on rants, and it was like boring. It was boring as hell. Like my videos I made were boring, and I was like, dude,
This right.
I couldn't believe myself. I was like, dude, what is this? And I was just so bad at it because I didn't have any of the equipment I need. My game was super crappy. I had like 5 FPS. It was just like, dude, what are you doing?
You could. I know a lot of people that got famous by doing that though.
But,
I mean, not like relatively, meaning like 600 subs.
I mean, yeah.
Is that a sneeze? Wow. It's, dude, don't ever get into the creative field like how I am right now. Because
Why?
the second you get out of high school and you start doing college, you realize, wow, I don't got a lot going for me
I mean,
and whatnot.
It's
So,
just the real question is YouTube gonna last? Because if YouTube
not.
lasts, then the rest of it's going to.
I guess. Well, I mean, like in general, like I'm also I've been doing art, I've been doing video, I've been doing this podcast. I've been doing like a lot of projects at the moment in this point of my life.
Yeah, it's fun to be an artist.
It's
In that
not
sense.
though. It's
It's
like,
not?
oh my god, it sucks. Because every single time you put out an idea, you're like, flesh it out, and I'm bored. So you gotta have like very like high
Yeah,
amounts
a
of
lot of different
determination.
Yeah. And you gotta have a lot of stuff going on so you can like, I'm bored of this. Let's go to that, and just keep working on different projects.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man. I remember.
But then it gets stressful because you have so many projects that aren't done.
Exactly. That was my life when I wanted to do a webcomic, and I had like a bunch of pages and how the entire plot would go, this and that.
I
This
remember
and
hearing
that.
about that. I remember you did some other stuff too. You did a book. You've always done a lot of stuff. How did that book go? I never ended up helping you with it.
Okay, there's 2 books. There's The Night City,
That
which
was
I
the one
wrote with.
did a little bit, but I didn't really. What was that?
Let's do an intermission. There's someone at the door.
Probably Luke.
I wonder if it's Luke. This would be a weird time to have Luke show up though. He just texted me that he couldn't make it, so it can't be Luke.
Do you edit? Do you edit your stuff a lot?
Yeah, typically. Alright, who is this? Who's this mystery boy? It's a kid, it's a child.
Nice. That's the best conversation I've ever seen with a telemarketer.
Why?
Yeah, so it's here.
They're people too.
And I like it.
I used to be a dick. I used to be like, you telemarket me, I'm gonna telefight you. And I like, oh, you just,
Telefight.
well, I used to be like really mean to them. I used to be even more sarcastic and whatnot.
It's just funny. No, I'm robbing the home.
I'm robbing the house right now.
Where are your parents coming from? Or your mom?
Australia.
Dude.
I know, right? I wanted to go, but then I didn't because they're going to be traveling with a lot of people.
Sounds like fun though. What'd they go do?
Well, they send me pictures of the beach and pictures of all the food there.
And then like, hey, like this guy died because he got bitten by a spider hiding in the shoe. Hey, this guy died because there's a snake.
Oh.
Did you ever hear about those? Okay.
The shoe
I
snakes?
mean, no, there's a spider. It's called an Australian funnel web. It's a pretty big spider, but they like have a tendency to, they make like little funnels in the ground type thing. So like if they see a shoe, they're like, oh, a hole in the ground. Let me just make a web out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll chill there, and they have enough fang power they can bite through toenails. So they hide through shoes and can bite through toenails.
I don't ever want to see that ever.
So in Australia, the custom is to like pick up your shoe and beat the shit out of the shoe. And they have like a special stick you like ram in there, and then you beat the shit out of the shoe still.
Right.
And you have to do that every time before you go outside. Otherwise, you may or may not die.
Oh my god.
Your very life depends on it.
I'm happy they're safe from what I heard.
And of the 10 most venomous snakes in the world, like 8 of them live in Australia. I'm not even kidding you.
I hate Australia.
It's pretty cool. It's like a
Yeah. Oh, you can't just go from deadly spider shoes.
well,
to
it's
like,
cool.
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's
a
all
cool.
right.
It's cool because it's so different. Because it's the biggest island in the world. I mean, technically, but
see
it still
that.
doesn't make any sense because it's just a continent at that point. Because a continent is an island.
Have you been?
Technically, no. But it's a big place. But it's so isolated. All their stuff is just so different. And like, I mean, I don't know. I don't believe in that whole like evolution stuff, which I know sounds kind of like you're a Neanderthal. But there's
No,
honestly,
get out.
there's actually a lot of evidence that disproves it, and even a lot of it's really funny. I've been doing a lot of research on it, and a lot of scientists will say that evolution doesn't make sense, but they refuse to admit they still refuse to then believe in the only other alternative.
All right.
Okay, so it's really funny. So there's creation and there's evolution, right?
I used to go to church. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get that. You get that.
Okay, real quick. Were you there for the Ken Ham versus Bill Nye the Science Guy debate?
No, but
My-
Bill Nye sold himself to the devil.
Pretty much.
To the liberals. That was entirely like
That-
he wanted to
yeah.
be made known again, so he sold himself to liberals. Is what he did.
I
Which
just-
is whatever.
I just miss that whole month at Calvary Chapel was so lit because every single day be like, remember, pray for Ken Ham so that he may beat against the devil, Bill Nye the Science Guy. And there's like a couple kids that were conflicted because they really like Bill Nye.
But,
So they,
hey,
I had like,
he totally just sold himself away. So.
yeah, nowadays, but back then he used to be like,
he was pretty lit back then.
Bill Nye
But he
the
taught
Science
science.
Guy. He didn't teach
The gender thing is not
shit.
science.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if he started recording again, but
Oh, it's been recording.
Oh, awesome.
I hope it caught we're robbing houses and talking about
probably
it.
not. But okay, so and you understand creationism, but then the evolutionist, what was that guy? I think he's a Jew, Ben.
A Jew.
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of a random thing, because it's just a.
I just like how you put it.
What's his name? Ben.
It's someone that
Ben Stein.
someone that
He's
we
a famous actor. He talks like this. No, he's in a bunch of movies. I think his name is Ben Stein or Ben.
Ben
something.
Affleck, sure.
No, but he's got a really weird like long face with like big glasses.
Oh my god! I swear to God. I
And
know.
he talks like this.
All right. Which
Google guy who talks like this.
Let's talk like this. It's okay. Tell you what, you're gonna hear some clicking, audience. I apologize. What? Okay, so which movie was he in?
I think he. See, I don't remember. It's Ben something. Ben.
Okay, actor. Ben Big Glasses.
Here, I'll pop around on the other side here.
Is he in Big Bang Theory?
No.
Not this one, I imagine. Ben Stiller?
No, it's not Ben Stiller. He's old. If that helps.
Oh, there he is.
No, that's not him.
Okay, with actors with big
Is it
glasses.
Something. Maybe his name is Jerry. Jerry might be in there somewhere.
Any of these ringing a bell?
No. They're big circle glasses. But
Are you sure that he wasn't like in a movie?
I know
or
he's been in movies, but I don't remember what movie he was in. I'm really bad at this stuff.
Disney?
Is Ben Stein? Look up Ben Stein.
Okay.
Yeah, Ben Stein.
Ben Stein. Oh, he was in Ferris Bueller.
Oh, duh, yeah, that's right. That's what he's famous for. Is
Oh,
Bueller.
yeah,
So
like
Ben Stein.
Bueller.
So he was talking to Richard Dawkins, which is like the master of evolution. Yeah, he's that shithead.
Okay.
But so then eventually he got him to literally admit, he's like, well, evolution doesn't really seem to work, and like their thing instead is instead of imagining that maybe there's a god, they're like, we think we might have been, because the real thing that bugs a lot of people with evolutionary is they talk about how there was some kind of like soup that got struck with lightning or some shit, and then that started life because they couldn't figure out how to start life.
Right.
They call it
primordial ooze.
Primordial, yeah, or something. Primordial soup.
You mean you mean the sea that was here at the beginning?
Or
That's
well, they
like an
think there was
ooze?
some kind of soup that got zapped, and that's like how it happened. But they can't make the soup. They can't. They've tried so many times. They can't make whatever it is that made life. And so instead of like admitting there's God, they're like, we think that whatever it was that created life was planted here by aliens, possibly.
That'd be cool.
That's which that is the entire root of Scientology. Scientology is that. But
So it's-
they
okay.
basically they can't admit that they think that there might be a God. They don't want to. They
Might be
they
used.
want to refute that,
Right.
but they instead provide the exact same idea, just without the same name and the same amount of influence.
All right. Yeah. Sure.
Which
There's
is just, which is it's whatever.
No, it's interesting. I value all opinions.
Yeah, no,
Unless
so
they're-
that's
unless,
just-
unless they're screaming at me and punching me in the mouth. Then
Well, right.
I might change my mind
Antifa.
about whatever they're thinking. Pretty much, yeah, Antifa.
But no, that's like just a general like.
Just the ooze with the laser.
You know, so that's like their thing. But like, I don't know why they can't just, I don't know, maybe consider it. Because like, there are people who have come out with articles about it, you know, thinking
Yeah.
like this kind of idea, and they get kicked out of their science institutions. They get kicked out of their colleges.
Yeah, because
Professors get kicked out of their colleges.
Right.
Because they present an idea that doesn't even exactly say it, but it says it might be a possibility.
it
Maybe.
might be a possibility.
So
It
it's
might
like
be a
they're
greater power.
not, they're like trying to hinder the science.
Right.
Almost. Which is just dumb.
Yeah. Do you think God is like a guy though? I don't think he's just a guy.
I don't know.
I think he's like just a thing.
Well, the old Mormon belief, and it was kind of like not one that was talked about very often, but one of them was that there's a theory that what's going on right now has happened before.
Right.
And God is someone who went through, did it, was successful, and got elevated to a position in heaven, and eventually, you know, I guess worked his way up to get to start his own thing.
Like a corporation. All right.
Kind of.
So-
So I explained it to someone one time because back in the
like
day
a-
I used to try to explain
okay.
it, but it was like the only thing you need to worry about. So basically, like, we're like employees right now, and then there's like the manager over us.
Okay.
That's
Alright.
like would be like basically who God is, but you don't need to know about it. But it's likely that there is a regional manager, a district manager, and then a regional manager.
There's
and then,
higher like gods.
I mean, that was like a thing that like because a lot of Mormon stuff. There's like an idea, and then you just kind of expound upon it, and people say this is my idea. That doesn't reflect what Mormons necessarily believe.
Of course.
But that was like one that I had heard one time, and I kind of thought like for a while I believed in that. I thought would be, I thought it made sense, that it would make sense for God to have done his thing. And it's like, hey, I'm your God. But then, like, once you like went through it all and got to heaven, maybe then you would expand further.
So
and
it's
know
it's
more
like a
about it.
growing, like evolving,
Maybe.
giant multi-universe.
Maybe
Okay.
that was kind of a concept.
All right.
So I don't know.
So that's-
I've thought of that before because it would make sense, but I've also thought it was kind of weird.
right.
But I don't know because then there's the other idea because God never alludes to that either. So it's not like
It's not like he's just like, all right. By the way, I'm like a district manager. I'm just visiting.
yeah. So it's not like so God it definitely is never mentioned that is it, and you would think because a lot of times God leaves a lot of things out.
Of
I
course.
think. Just kind of you know
Just
whatever.
to mess with people.
Well, no, but
No, I'm
like
kidding.
to make it, you know, harder, better, you know, to make it a more realistic, you know, thing. Because I think the whole point is to be tested, and they give it a fair, realistic test. Because they can't
Right.
give you everything, but they can give you something. So I think there's part of that, but I think that God does try to put a lot of it in there. You know, he tries to
as
say
much
at
as
least
he
one
can,
thing.
yeah.
Well, he just tries to say one thing that kind of helps, and like the further you dig into it, and like
Right.
especially into the Bible, like the more comes out. Like, and there's a lot of theories too that people think of that immediately are debunked because of the way it was so detailed laid down.
Okay.
Like, it's another Mormon belief. People think, or an idea anyway. So people think that maybe the 6-day creation thing is expanded.
Yeah, it actually took place over a long.
Is a theory.
Well, that would.
But the
make
reason
sense.
why it's not, or
Okay.
why the church that I go to says it's not, is because if you look back into the language,
Yeah.
they have a word for a day, a night and a day. Like
Okay.
today is a day. They call it, I think it's called a yen, or something.
It's Japanese currency. What?
Right, I know.
That's
but
convenient.
it's just one. I can't remember exactly what the word is, but there's a word for
course.
day, just a day and a night. And they also have a word for an extended period of time, like a day. They have lots of words for it actually about this. But when God talks about the 6-day creation, it uses the word day. On this day, God did this. On this day, God did that.
Okay.
Like, and there was a night and a day. And it even says it in the Bible. If I recall, it says there was a morning and a night, and then that was the first day. Here, look, I've got it on my phone.
You have the Bible on
I know,
your
I have
phone.
the Bible on my phone. Because I have a physical Bible, too. I have a couple.
All
But
right.
I don't bring them to church because it's annoying. But, like, let's just hold on. Give me 10 seconds.
All right. It's 10, 9, 8. No, I'm kidding. Oh, he
Okay,
was also
so-
Ben Stein was also in the Clear Eyes commercial with the eyeball and the. Just wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So like, for example, Genesis 1, verse, 4, it says, "And God saw the light, and light was good. And he divided the light from the darkness." And then verse 5 says, "God called the light day and the darkness night.
Mm-hmm.
So the evening and morning were the first day." Like, even in English,
So-
it says, "So the evening and morning were the first day." Now, this is the New King James Version. I can really quickly compare it to regular King James.
Mm-hmm.
And it says,
The same exact thing.
It says, "And God called the light." Wait, yeah. Is this? Yes. So it says the same thing almost. It says, "And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and morning were the first day." So,
Okay.
yeah. It's a pretty handy Bible app. It lets you compare it. Because I don't know. Because again, growing up Mormon, and I haven't, fully converted to this religion. I'm, pretty sure I will. Because I've been going for
Could
a long
you
time.
give a brief overview of your your journey?
I mean, I guess a brief overview. I went, so I was Mormon for forever. I was born Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
I did that. I got pretty into it, I think. I mean, I did all this stuff. I went to church every single Sunday, pretty much. All that stuff. I was pretty religious in my going to church, believe it or not. And then when I was going with Carrie Ann, I wanted her to be a part of my church, and she kind of let it be. Like, she was like, "That's cool."
All right.
Then she started learning more about her church, and started being "Hold on, I think that
Yeah.
your church is wrong because my church is right." You know what I mean? She kind of was like, "Hold on, I think that because of this." And so that started causing, it was conflict. It was hard because it was kind of like, well, obviously I believe in my church is right. You believe yours is right. This is a conflict.
Right.
And so just kind of I guess almost to appease her, I started going to church, and it's just kind of been whatever. And especially when we gotten, I just kind of stopped going to mine.
Yeah.
And her church, it does different things. So I think part of it too is they have less content that they need to cover, so they do it all more detailed, and it makes way more sense because of that. Because there's more. I mean, maybe not just because of that, but the Bible is through and through. It is a book written, and it's crazy the stuff that's in it and the stuff that it's been made. I can maybe go into that a little bit more, but the Bible is just crazy accurate, and so it was showing the way that the Bible went through everything, and I was kind of like, wow, it's crazy that this isn't in, the Mormon Church or in the whatever. I don't like saying the long name because it's too much, but it was just kind of crazy, and so I've kind of, there's always that feeling. It feels like it's right to be in the other church sometimes. I want to follow your heart almost, but your brain.
Right.
Totally says this makes sense. This is what makes sense. You have to use your brain and your heart to it to an extent.
Okay.
And then there's a really weird catch-all. So Mormons believe almost everybody goes to heaven. Almost.
Cool.
Pretty much.
Hey.
And one of the only things you can do to not go to Mormon is to know the church, understand the Mormon church, and then deny it. So you know it's real. You know
That
it's
would
right.
catch a lot of people, though.
Not really though.
All right.
Not very many at all.
All right.
It's and then of course in the Bible it says it too. If you deny the Holy Ghost, then
To hell with
that's
you.
that's what it says. But it's hard. That's kind of a hard thing to understand too. So that's a whole different thing. But it's interesting to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, if I'm wrong, I'm more than likely going to go to heaven because of if it's the Mormon thing, that I'm more than likely either have an opportunity or I will.
So what's
it's
the other church's belief then?
So the other church, it's the Church of Christ, is what it's called. It's a non-denom.
Non-denom.
Non-denom, baby. Non-denominational.
I apologize. So it's non-denominational. Okay.
So, but it's I mean, the ones here are kind of little, but the ones like down south are monstrous.
I could imagine.
I mean, that's how it works everywhere. But like, they're pretty. It's a pretty big church, but it's kind of funny because it doesn't have the same organized thing that an organized church does. Like, you know, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and Catholic churches. Obviously, they have an organization. They have almost a corporation within their church.
Right.
So they have a lot of say. They have a lot more weight.
God for profit, right?
I mean, I don't know, but like, I don't feel like it's necessary for profit. But that's how they roll. They roll it, and I almost kind of like that it's a big organization, almost in the fact that you can run things better. Everything is more uniform.
Okay.
Because her dad travels a lot. This sounds off topic, but it's not. He travels a lot, and so he goes to a lot of different things, and so he ends up going to a lot of Church of Christ's. And every now and again, he gets a crazy one that doesn't, like, you're like, whoa, that's not what we believe in.
Y'all gotta
at
chill
all.
out.
There's like, just every now and again, you get one, you're like, that's not right. But because there's not as much regulation. But even though there's not as much regulation, it's still, the churches are still almost always similar. There's just every now and again, there's like some random off one, and you're like, yeah. So it's kind of weird, but it's a pretty cool church. And like, I guess going back to what it quote unquote believes in, it believes that you have to study the Bible, you have to be baptized in that church to go to heaven.
Okay.
Which I guess is weird, but it's like the correct baptism or whatever.
To do it in the church that you go to, or to do it at that church?
I mean, like not that building, but that church.
Oh, the system.
Like Church of Christ.
Okay.
So to be baptized in Church of Christ is, I'm pretty sure.
All right.
I know. I'm still trying to learn a little bit, and I haven't quite learned everything about, especially the baptism and stuff.
It's all right.
The thing that they've been pushing really heavy, and I don't know why, but like the past, like when I've been there, they do a lot of Christian evidences, which is the creationism and like stuff like that.
Okay.
They did a really cool thing at the VBS talking about how you can really see that the flood happened. The great Noah's flood, because there's a flood story in every civilization, every ancient civilization, and they're fairly similar.
Okay.
So it makes you lead to believe that you think that might have happened.
That might have actually.
That there might have been a global flood.
Because everyone talked about it and whatnot.
Because everyone's mentioned it in some of their folklore. And there's some other stuff too.
Of course.
But it's kind of cool. It gets really crazy in some other stuff, and then there's stuff in the Bible that almost kind of proves other things too. Yeah, it's interesting. And there's a lot of stuff too that if you get into it, it's cool and you understand it. But like, if someone comes from the outside and walks in on one of them, you're like, oh, hold on, you guys are crazy.
Oh, let's ease into this, right?
Yeah, no, you have to ease into it, because there's some stuff, like, they talk about all sorts of crazy stuff that makes sense when you do the research, but if someone just said it off, you'd be like,
It's like
this church there's no way.
someone came up to me and was like, Jesus can fly, Jesus can fly. It's like,
No,
that's
well,
cool
it's
to
even
hear.
crazier stuff, like humans live with dinosaurs.
Ooh, okay, all right.
So like I said, you're like,
That's
if you walked into that and said that, you'd be like,
I'd be like,
no, you're ridiculous. But
the Flintstones
there's-
actually happened.
Well, there's
Like,
stuff
that's
that
silly.
makes sense. And
Okay.
you're like, okay.
You just gotta pick and choose.
I guess if you want
kinda.
a small example, well, there's a lot of other ones too. But like, again, if going off just like secular or non-secular, whichever one that is, the stuff that's not religious, you can find proof to an extent. Like there are cave paintings of people riding Triceratops. There are cave paintings of that.
Okay.
And you're like, how would they know what a Triceratops looks like? Because in China, the quote-unquote, when dinosaurs were discovered, they thought they were dragon bones when they found dinosaur bones. Like,
I know
people
that, yeah.
did not understand. People did not know how to put a dinosaur together when they found the bones.
So how would they be able to?
So how would they know that that's what a Triceratops looks like?
Okay.
And there's pictures of that. There's art. There's armor that looks kind of like dinosaurs. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. And like I said, the cave painting was like what was like, no way. Because there's literally people on top of Triceratops, and you're like,
I gotta see this cave painting in real life.
I can't remember where it is, but I looked it up. Or we were looking through it, and I was like, what? No way.
Let's do a road trip.
And there's some other stuff in the Bible too. Like it talks. There's one, and it's been one that's debated before, but it talks about in Isaiah or Job. It's Job,
Right.
or which is in Isaiah. That's right. The story of Job is in Isaiah. And someone is talking to Job, and they're like, but look at Behemoth, and they're talking about this thing. And how it has a trunk the size of, or it has a tail the size of a tree, and it's so massive, and some other stuff.
Ooh.
And
okay.
people have talked about like, well, it could be an elephant. It could be this other big thing. But elephants have tiny tails. They don't have
Little
tails the
rat
size of a
tails.
tree.
Yeah.
They don't have, and like all of the things that they've presented, none of them have all of the features that this thing called behemoth is. That's the word for it. It's like not even like the translated word for it. The word for it in Hebrew is behemoth.
All right.
So that's what they called it. And then there's another thing called Leviathan. I don't remember exactly what Leviathan is because they use a lot of different ones for that. But like behemoth is this thing that could be nothing other than like one of the giant sauropods.
Okay.
So like it's like a Dilophosaurus, or not Dilophosaurus, like a Diplodocus or a Brachiosaurus, Brontosaurus, whatever. Something like of that nature. Because when you look at all the parts together, you're like, it has to be that.
That tail really is like a tree.
Like if you make it an option, then you're like if it was like A, B, C, D, and like you look at it, you're like, it's like the multiple choice question. You read through the answers, and go. Pfft. It's literally one of those.
Make
and
it
so,
that easy.
I don't know. But it's like there's more information. So like that
There's
already is kind of. I mean, I'm not trying to sway you to anything, but obviously like.
No, of course. Yeah.
Like the first sentence, dinosaurs live with people. You're like, fuck you. You're like, no, fuck it. But then if I brought all that in and then said that to there, you're kind of like,
maybe
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I have to do more. I have to learn more about it. You know what I mean?
That is interesting. I really.
This church is crazy. It's really good at making you like, whoa. You do so many double takes. Like, here's another one for you. Okay. So the Hebrew word for God and God with us or whatever is called Yahweh. Is the word Yahweh.
I know that word, yeah.
And so when they hung Jesus and this other, or not hung him obviously, but when they put him on the cross and all that stuff, they have something. Here's Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. Mm-hmm. And then in Roman it says, if you take all of the words together, it says Inri. Something I and then Nazarene are I. I can't remember exactly what it is, but Inri is the word that it spells out and can. What's that called when you like what's it called like raptor in school? Remember that?
Anagram?
No, I don't think it's an anagram. It's a
R and raptor.
R is for respect, A is for achievement.
I'm sure that's an anagram.
I didn't think it was called an anagram. I thought it was called something else.
It's like where every single letter stands for something else.
Yeah, stands for whatever that's called.
Whatever.
I thought it was.
I just want to confirm myself.
Yeah, no. Let's science it.
A little internet. No, anagram is when you have different letters. Okay, so the word to describe when every letter stands for a word.
Is it a mnemonic device?
Acronym.
Freaking duh. It's an acronym. So the acronym is INRI. And then in Hebrew, it's like YW something else, but the word that it spells out, because the Hebrew words are weird, it's Yahweh.
Okay.
And like there was this way long out process, and like when he got to the end of it, he was like, it spells Yahweh, and you're like, it was like, what the fuck? It was like, the meme, the what the fuck?
That's a good old 2000s meme, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like that.
That's crazy. Has there ever, if you don't mind me asking, has there ever been moments where he goes throughout like this entire description, or he like connects like, okay, so in Genesis, blah blah blah, there's a rock that's mentioned. That same rock happens to appear in Revelations 12, blah blah blah.
No,
and you're just like, has there ever been something where he says it, and the connection seems like a little stretched, or like a little like?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Little...
There's never been like this rock is the same rock.
It's like, that rock was actually from this, and he goes, whoa, like he waves his arms around.
No.
He's like, look at it, it's crazy.
No, I mean the time he did that with the Yahweh thing was just awesome. But that's pretty much it.
I want to sit through that. I want to like see that now for myself. That sounds really interesting.
I think I have to figure out what week it is, but they always record all their sermons.
Okay.
They're doing one that was really weird about the Godhead, which I don't know.
That's a Berserk anime reference.
No. But I was talking. Like the regular guy. Like there's the egg analogy, and then there's other people. Like so, Mormons believe that there's God and Jesus and the Holy Ghost, and they're three different people, like entirely different people.
Yes.
Like there's God, and then Jesus is his son. They both have bodies. They are two different people.
Okay.
And then the Holy Ghost is his own person, but he does not have a body, and that's how he can like enter you or whatever.
He's the
so you can help you
spirit.
out or whatever. Yeah,
That's
spirit.
interesting.
So that's like the thing. But then like a lot of other places are like, well, we don't think that because of that. And so I don't know. I haven't been quite convinced. I still kind of think the Mormon way, but I don't know. I think
That's the thing with
pretty much
religion,
what we
yeah.
get more into. And like I don't know.
I think. Are you frustrated that some things you just don't know about?
I mean, yeah, I get irritated. I wish I understood this, but I figured that the longer you study with it, the more you can understand it. But like,
Right.
even our preacher when he was talking about the Godhead, because he did one part and I wanted to listen to the other part, but it was on a night and I couldn't go, so I need to look it up and listen to it. But it was like he was talking about it, and he was like, and preachers from all around have tried to figure this out, and nobody really gets it, because it's just a hard one. Because sometimes
What are you talking about?
the Godhead.
The Godhead. Okay.
Yeah, because like there are times where it's like, here they are. There's all three of them at the same time. They're different people.
Okay.
Like in John something, when John the Baptist baptizes Jesus, you see Jesus, you hear God say, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased," and the Holy Ghost descends like a dove. Right there, that's all three.
Okay.
And then there are other times like the whole thing is the great I am implies that they're all the same person. But Jesus prays to God all the time in the New Testament,
Right.
and you're like, do you pray to yourself, or are they two different people? What
What is this?
It's hard.
Yeah.
That whole thing is crazy, and like it almost and like that. I think a lot of people who are skeptics then are like, see, it doesn't work because you guys can't even understand it. So there you go. But I think there's more to it, and I've never not been able to believe that God exists. Like, you just look at stuff and you look at the way things have happened and you're like, there's no way.
Okay.
There's someone who's got to be in control
Doing
of this.
this, pulling the strings out there.
Like, I
and
mean,
whatnot.
like, I can't even, I don't mean to throw back to their evolution thing again, but like the way things have formed, you're like, really? This happened
Like,
randomly?
Okay.
These things have randomly just like,
then
like
evolution
a chameleon like happened to get the
Evolutionary
because
traits.
the way they do it, they're parts. They have like separate layers of skin,
Right.
and
they-
it's the distance that they go from each other that changes the way the wavelengths work. I was reading about them like yesterday, but like there's no way. How would that happen? They just randomly had skin a second layer of skin that could do that. Or
Well, I
like,
mean,
'cause
what do you-
eventually they get to that point.
You talk
obviously.
about like
It's very
evolution.
gradual,
You
but-
talk about like evolution versus creationism, very much. But what do you think of just the principles of evolution? Meaning that you have a species that comes into existence, right? And whether it be God or just previous evolution and this ongoing
It's here,
thing, right? Let's just say that. Okay, let's not debate about how it got there. Let's just say that.
No,
right?
but it's here. Now what?
Over time, there's elemental factors. There is other animals that eat it for nutrients and whatnot, and they go off their own paths. After a while, the creatures of this particular species, those that have the traits that help it survive, get to spread their genes,
So what
and that
you're
goes like
talking
farther and
about?
farther and farther and farther. And it keeps.
So what you're
yeah.
talking about is what has been proven, and that's microevolution. That's the
That's what it's
that is the
called.
Finch thing. The Finch thing that Darwin has talked about and says this is evolution. This is how I proved evolution has worked. This is microevolution.
Okay.
Because microevolution is that the animal's traits have changed. The birds have different beaks because the bird with a slightly longer beak could do that.
yeah.
Over time, the bird gets longer beak. But the thing about it, that is microevolution because the bird is still a bird. The bird is still the bird. The bird from there and the bird from here still have almost the exact same traits.
Yeah.
And the thought is that evolution, eventually they get so far apart that they will never be, they will turn into not a bird
Well, no. What it is that
or something else.
They don't once you have your skills and specials and yada yada yada, that you evolve so far that if they don't breed with each other, then they're considered a different species, and that only happens after a large separations.
That's the theory.
That's a theory. But the thing is that like a bird would never turn into anything that isn't a bird. That's true. But if you trace back, birds evolved from like let's say like a dinosaur
That's
and
not a
whatnot.
bird.
And it went
Exactly.
It doesn't. How do I put this?
It went from like a weird lizard, alligator, bird thing,
and then it went to like a
to a flying
stupid
bird thing.
chicken that I hate, and then it goes from there.
Now, did you hear about the chicken and the egg thing finally got quote unquote resolved?
Yeah, the chicken had to lay the egg, but the egg gave birth to the chicken.
No, but no. But like no. Did you ever hear they came out with a thing? Apparently, chickens can only hatch because there's an enzyme in a chicken that makes it a chicken. So there's a certain thing that only is found in chickens that makes a chicken a chicken.
All right.
And that chicken, that's always in the egg, and that's why it becomes a chicken. And if you take that away, it doesn't work. I can't remember what it does.
It does.
But you like, there could not have been a thing that turned into a chicken because it had to have the enzyme from the chicken. Which
Okay.
I think there might be a way to work around it some weird way, but
Alright.
when I heard about it, I was kind of like, it's supposed to solve the chicken versus the egg debate.
Yeah, but which came first, according to this?
The chicken.
God damn it. Wouldn't the enzyme also be a part of microevolution then?
I don't know. Well, I hadn't gone too far into thinking about it, but I was thinking, but that people that think they already have, they were like, only a chicken can lay a chicken egg, because at one point, if egg comes first, it comes from one animal laying a chicken egg, right? Because then it hatches into a chicken, right? It has to be a chicken egg. It can't be a this egg that turned into a chicken.
Yeah.
Or like they say, it's a T-Rex that turned into a chicken. So the thing that was part T-Rex, part chicken,
It
laid
slowly
a
evolved,
chicken egg at some point. Not a half chicken, half T-Rex thing.
No, that I'm sure that happened though.
Well,
Because you don't just like turn straight into a chicken, right? It's
well, yeah. There's a gradual
small
process.
traits,
But
traits.
But the thing that was almost a chicken, laid eventually what was an only chicken egg. I don't know. That whole thing, I don't know. That was a whole like straw man thing. I don't know.
Egg.
But I was thinking, but I saw something to that effect.
Okay.
But no, so I don't know. But that was the thing that we talked about. It's microevolution happens.
So you believe in microevolution? You
I
just don't
believe
believe that that's how we got here.
That traits. I think that traits change. Like things like if you keep pursuing things will get stronger, things will get faster, things will have slightly different things, and
Alright.
like that's subspecies at that point.
Okay.
But it's still a species, and a chicken will never turn into anything but a chicken. There'll be different kinds of chickens, just like dogs. If you think
The
about
dog
it,
doesn't- yeah.
dogs have been evolved from wolves. Canis lupus, Canis lupus familiaris.
Sure.
So that's wolf versus dog
Yeah.
in the genetic field. Dogs are still wolves, quote unquote.
Because it came from an ancestor.
But they came from wolves, like straight up wolves.
Yeah.
Like modern wolves
Okay.
could turn into are basically tame dogs. But the dogs have never become anything but a dog or anything but a wolf. Even
Okay.
they're really weird looking wolves, and like some are freaking tiny, but they still have the exact same.
You can trace
thing.
the lineage all the way back to the.
But
first,
they're still just a dog, and that's
Well,
why
that's-
any dog can breed with any dog.
Well, that's why like a lot of people that do believe in evolution, they tie us all back to the sea because according to evolution, like we all came from the sea, right? So we all came from a fish, and if that fish came from an enzyme, that enzyme came from a little tiny little organism, and that organism came from.
How did an organism turn into something other than an organism?
Because
That's the thing.
evolution.
It's like,
That's
what?
what the
No,
thing
it's
is
just-
tied.
That's the thing it talks about, but it doesn't make
It's
any
a big
sense.
old octopus tentacle.
But that's the thing; it doesn't make
spreads.
sense. But
All right.
in my opinion,
That's fair. No, that's fair.
but like dogs have always still been dogs, and I think the other evolutionary thing that evolutionists will say is that is that we haven't given it enough time. But I don't think humans will live long enough to where it would have been enough time
for us to evolve and whatnot.
No, for dogs, because I think dogs are something that we try to evolve. But humans, I don't think even if evolution existed, if people really could turn into something other than a people,
down the line.
yeah, eventually, if they could eventually turn into something other people, I don't think we would because we don't have that natural selection anymore. We take care of the people who, and I don't think this is a bad thing. Don't misunderstand me, internet. But okay, but if someone is born with Down syndrome,
just
we don't kill them.
Fuck.
Okay. No, hold on.
No, I'm
Just
kidding.
listen.
I'm kidding. I got what you mean, though. We breed with people that we find attractive. We're not about to kill anyone that we know.
And like anybody who's quote unquote inferior, has inferior traits, they can still breed and reproduce.
Yeah.
So
we're
there's no driving force that people think is evolution. There's no way. Even if evolution did work, people wouldn't. I don't think people would ever change. People would still be people.
Because we came to a point in our consciousness where we started helping each other.
You help people despite. Yeah, so you don't let anybody do anything. This is a really cool cup. Sorry.
Changing the subject. How dare you?
Sorry, it's cool.
Well, listen, man. I grew up with evolution personally.
Well, yeah, so did I,
Yeah, I
actually.
believe in it and whatnot. I still think it's valid. Yada yada yada. Denver Nature Science Museum, love it. But
I like
I've
the
never,
museum too. That's the funny part.
I've never thought of it from the other side, like from a creationist point of view.
It's kind of cool.
It's just, I want to get into that now, though.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I've been lately. I've been trying to get into different religions.
Now, my church does do it a lot. It seems if they ever do it, I can hit you up if you want.
Oh, please do.
But it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It does a lot of stuff, and it shows really cool stuff. There's another one about, I don't know if this is too long of a topic, but
It's fine.
the eye, the way the human eye is developed. So it's almost like a cord into a cord, but because the way it works, so the eye starts developing a nerve, like in the fetus or whatever. It starts developing nerves here in the eye, and then nerves start developing in the brain, and they go in and they follow a certain path and they meet.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like 1 million of them, and each one has to meet with the right one,
Right.
and they always do.
Because evolution.
But I don't know. I never thought it was because evolution, because it's so complicated. It's such a complex idea that this has to meet with this, or else it's wrong.
Okay.
And it's so perfect, and it has to happen every time, and it had to happen every time prior.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, in the point of going from a basic eye to a compound eye, it would have had to have gotten it right the first time, and then gotten it right every time after that.
Yep.
And it's just like a 1 in a million chance that it does it, but it does it every time. It's
Right.
crazy, and it does the
can
1
see
in a million
that.
chance 1,000,000 times. It's
That's
pretty crazy.
I can see that. That's actually very.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other crazy stuff too. Like in the Bible, it talks about. I don't know why I keep going on these, but I just have kept them.
Oh, man, I find them captivating. If that gives you any
Well, good.
drive.
I'm saying if there's one that's boring, you can cut it out. But
Shut up, Brendan.
there's one more. So, I guess around the time, or in the time of the Bible, or around the Old Testament ish, people say Egypt was the top of the medical field. Egypt had the most science. Everyone went to Egypt if they wanted treatment for something.
Okay.
And so then in England, the Egyptian around the same time as Moses, or the time of Leviticus was, so not quite Moses, but or not, a little after Moses or whatever, in Leviticus, and then around that same time period, which is something.
Mm-hmm.
If there was an infection, the Egyptian method for what's it called, for treating this infection was a mix of like cat poop, like sage, and like some other animal's poop, and you'd slather it on there, and that was how you'd heal infections, which is obviously bullshit.
Yeah, that's a little.
Yeah, no, that's
little
not
iffy.
Yeah, but and then in Leviticus it talks about for if someone gets, I can't remember if it's an injury or if it's dead people or what, but they're supposed to balm themselves in these different things, and these things are like, one of them turns out like the root of whatever this is. It's like a root of a tree or something. I can't remember what they call it. It's in Leviticus somewhere. And if you wanted to take the time, I can dig through it. But this thing is the root of what we ended up using for mouthwash because it has antiseptic properties. And then there's another thing that is used to fight infection. There's another thing that's used to preserve.
From Egypt.
And that was no. This is from the Bible. The Bible says use this. The Bible says use a mix of this.
Okay.
Hold on, I think I know where it is. I think it's in like Leviticus 7. Like, just give me like 10 seconds.
All right. Also, heads up, we're at an hour and 21 minutes.
Okay.
That's
I would say
crazy.
whatever's
though.
up to you. It doesn't matter.
No, meaning like it's. I think it's great that we're able to hold this conversation for 100.
Yeah.
You know, usually when I say that, they're blown away. I'm not saying that your response is underwhelming, but you know.
Yeah, I know.
Wow,
Hold on.
Brandon, that was an hour 27. Anytime, Brandon.
Hold on. I think I'm
valuing the conversation.
Well, I mean, we always were able to do this, dude. We always were able to shoot shit for forever. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. I only bring it up because I glanced at it and I was like, I wonder if that was like 30 minutes.
No. I say I've been kind of paying attention.
Yeah. After this, I have one more question that
Okay.
I don't think you'll be able to get into the Bible for. Not accusatory or
No.
taking
But
proactive.
it's worth a try.
But I really want to ask you this question after finding the
for sure.
fancy.
I say I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it right away.
You want to save it for season 2?
I mean, or whatever. Let's see. Is it in here? Is it in 4? I'm just gonna take one class quick load through, and it says something about taking. But anyway, no, I can't find it. But it's one of those things. These things are literally things that we later found out have medical quality, and this is what quote it says. God said to do this. When then these people, to stay away from these people for 7 days. And 7 days was a long enough time to clear anybody that has an infection would be cleaned. Mm-hmm. And it was like, it actually makes sense. Like in the Bible, it talks about like the discovery. It talks about how people rediscovered this not until like the 18th century, when somebody was like, they were like, why are all these women dying? They were trying to figure out why the women kept dying at childbirth. And he was like, wait, these people are putting their hands in blood and then like this nasty bloody water and then trying to deliver babies, and the babies would die. He's like, what happens if we stop using the bloody water and clean our hands with this? And then all of a sudden, the babies stop dying. And they're like, there must be this thing called germs.
Gross.
But
right.
yeah, sorry. All right.
So the Bible basically helped people over time.
Yeah,
it's like the little tips
like
and tricks.
it's just it literally showed that this is how you clean things.
Every once in a while, we get like a nice little BuzzFeed article in the Bible that says top 5 things to clean your teeth with and whatnot. Totally. Essentially,
BuzzFeed.
Hate them. So I guess seeing how we are at 123, okay. I would like to just shine off with this topic. Okay, it's all good. It's going to take a little bit of talking though.
No, it's okay.
So the Bible was written over the years by many, many prophets and people that had visions of God and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they all wrote this down and collected and collected and collected. And before you knew it, I believe, correct me, but when the invention of like the printing press and whatnot happened, I believe it was like in Europe or whatever. This is very like
first thing they copied was the Bible, right?
Yeah. And so that happened. They found all the scriptures, all the Proverbs, the Song of Solomon, and whatever. They put it in this book. Okay, they printed that. They printed that, and they sent it out. But the issue with that is that they stopped adding things to the Bible. So my question for you, what I would like to end off the podcast, is that there had to have been other people. There had to have been other people that also saw visions of God, that also wrote down what he said, what their journeys was and whatnot. Their stories didn't end up in the Bible.
Yeah.
So as a result, do you think that the Bible, the one that we have right now, the New King James Version, yada, 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 is that it?
Okay.
Is that it for the Bible?
So here's the one for you. Okay. So there's a Mormon belief that they think that it would be crazy to think that other people don't have texts of that kind of thing. And I think that's totally true. I bet you in Samoa there is something that has a lot of things like the Bible that came from God.
Okay.
And they probably used that to teach those people and brought them to some form of basically Christianity. Okay. I think that's true, but it does say in some part of the Bible, it talks about how basically, and it was right around when the New Testament was being written, parts of it. And I think I had a little bit of struggle with this, and Carrie Ann tried to help me kind of go through it. And she was like, well, people knew that he was talking about this thing that's going to become the New Testament, basically. Because there was kind of like a basically New Testament thing that was kind of around. And you can kind of see it in the copies that they kind of knew where it was thrown together. But what it basically said was, if you see something that is of what claims to be a scriptural content, and it is the same, it has the same ideas as this one, then why do you need this different one if it's exactly the same or has the same points? So you don't need that. And if it's different, God has already provided what you need. So
that
then
book
it's
found
wrong.
you. Okay.
So that's what they think. So if it's something that has a different idea that is contradictory to this, then it must not be of this. Is basically what Peter says. He's like, if it has something, and again, obviously things like that, can start to have kind of a conflict. You can take it with I think Peter is right because I believe in Peter, or you can take it with I don't think it's right because I don't think Peter should whatever. You know what I mean? So that's where the people who don't have a religion are gonna dismiss it right there. It's because this is what Peter said. But
Okay.
according to this or whatever, it says if it's the same, you already have it. And if it's different, then you don't want it.
Okay.
If it has a different opinion to it, or a different, if it says something different, then you don't want it because it's wrong. Because God has put everything that you're going to need to get to your salvation in the Bible.
In the version you received, though, right?
Well, I mean, the Bible has different things, but all of it has the same point. Like, in all the transcripts of the New Testament, I don't know if you know this, but they have like copies of, I think it's the Odyssey by Homer, and they have things like that, and they have like 12 copies of this, and they're all fairly accurate. Or some of them are accurate, some of them are like, whoa, what did you do with that book? Because it's all recorded, it's all copied by hand.
Right.
So there's going to be little discrepancies. And there's lots of things. There's Aristotle's works. There's all this from around the same time. And there's like 100 of these. There's like 200 of these. There's 12 of these. And we believe that those are totally fine. The New Testament has like 24,000 copies. And all of them are almost exactly the same.
Okay.
And there's little discrepancies. And sometimes they're illustrated in like the new copies of the Bible we have. Like one says this, one says that. But the meaning is exactly the same. The meaning has come off exactly the same, and it's just they miss a couple words. And it's no big deal.
I do know that there has been very huge discrepancies between certain...
There has been. And that was a lot with
translations.
the Catholic churches and stuff. When they
Right.
started messing with stuff. But with that stuff, that was awesome.
I hate you, water machine. That was the worst time to say that. Because I caught up on the audio.
And I don't remember what I said. What was I saying?
You were saying that it's true that there were discrepancies between...
Yeah, and I think that's the Catholic Church might do that. But I like to think that God still has a hand in things to an extent. I think he tries to put it on the back burner. And he's not nearly involved as he used to be. But I think he does do things, every now and again. And I guess I'm still in kind of a transitional period between my religions, so it's kind of whatever. But I like to think that I'm pretty good with this. I like to think, you know what I mean?
That's good.
But I like to think that God made sure that the Bible that came out now, that may have been altered by the Catholic, I think he tried very hard to make sure that the ones that got preserved and the ones that have been put onto their phones now is one that if you believe in it and you follow it, you'll go to heaven. I think that that's the point. And I think that that's what...
So how can there be so many different conflicting versions of the Bible that go out there, and everyone that swears by them say that they're going to reach heaven? How can that all exist at once then?
I don't know.
Right?
See, I think that is kind of a weird part, and I wonder if God kind of has a little bit of a catch system or not. I don't know. That's the part that's where the people start getting involved.
Right.
And the people that are in the church,
They interpret it which way.
they interpret it. But I don't know.
Does that...
I have no authority to say that I think that people from another church are not going to go to heaven because that's what my pastor says. That's what my preacher says.
Does that worry you at all?
A little bit. Yeah, what if this isn't the right one? What if especially because on the church that I go to, there's a street. It's Pine Street, and there's like 7 churches on it. It's like Church Street basically.
Okay.
And you're like, what if the church literally across the street is the church that is right? I like to think that I found the right one because I think that if you have an open heart, God eventually will lead you to the right one. And they show that in the Bible too, but I'm not going to go over it again. Or I'm not going to keep doing this because it's just whatever. But I think that they show it, that if there's someone who really, really does want to be part of what he really thinks is God's church, that he's going to get led to the right one at some point. If he's truly into it, then when... I don't know. But that he will get there. Okay. When he figures it out.
All right.
I don't know.
And I hope it would also work the same for people that will go their entire lives and never hear of it.
Why?
Where they're led to their own version of the Bible.
I've seen
led
that
to their
before,
own version of God.
I've talked about that before. And the thought process, if there is 0 people who never ever got any chance to go to the Bible, there's an inherent set of morals that are a lot like the Old Testament. That people believe in. If they follow those inherent rules and are doing what they think is right and have never ever seen a Bible, never heard of a Christian, those foreign islands hundreds of years ago may not have never ever gotten a chance. I think those people might have gone to heaven. And we've talked about that before. I've talked about it because I've had personal studies with one of the preachers I try to go to them like almost weekly if I can, just because I want to know more. I want to make sure I know. I want to make sure before I get baptized, I know I want to go to the right church. So, I'm trying to learn it the best.
Okay.
And he said something to the effect, I think that those people go to heaven because if they really want to follow that, then there's some kind of set of morals that they're going to follow, and that would be good enough for him. But I don't know. Maybe not.
There's a lot of uncertainty.
Maybe we're all going to hell.
There's a lot of uncertainty in this.
Oh, yeah. I think so. I think it's kind of the point.
The point?
To have a little bit of uncertainty and going into it. That's what faith is, to an extent.
I could see that.
I'm not sure. And I think that's why God should come down every day and say, hey, just so you know, I'm God.
All right, so you misspelled this.
That's another Mormon thing. Mormons think that when Satan was us, they think that they think that they know what happened before we got here.
Right.
They think that Satan had a plan that basically involved okay, so we're all going to go to earth. We're all going to be forced to go to church and forced to do that, so we're all going to come back to God. And that plan is perfect in the fact that everyone comes back, but that nobody has the choice to.
Okay.
That's a Mormon thing, but which is interesting. And so I think that God was like, no, that's not the point. The point is you have to go yourself. You have to have the free agency to do it, find it, want it.
You already had the apple.
Right.
I give this world to you.
Something to that effect.
All right, well, I think that is a good stopping point.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
I say, if you want to go into something else, that's fine too. If you want a lot of content and break it into two, that's fine by me too. I don't care.
Well, you're coming back for season 2. I'm gonna be sure as hell contact you.
Is it because I talk a lot?
Pretty much, yeah. This is the I want to say this is gonna be the podcast where I talk the least, which I'm freaking fine with.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just kind of talk.
That's fine, dude. No, that worked. You got good ebb and flow, and I appreciate it. So, is there any last questions, comments, questions for me?
I mean, we did do an intro.
Yeah,
or a recommendation.
No, we get to the recommendation after this. Just in terms of
we stop and then we okay, now go.
In terms of the meat of the story, which is this big story about religion and.
I think there's a lot. There's a religion one. There's a little bit of a relationship one. There's a little bit of
also important. Yeah.
Coming back, which, I don't know. All that Heather stuff was kind of interesting, and I don't know if I necessarily want that in there.
Well, we'll bleep her name out. We
have a
system.
I don't mean even just any of it was just kind of weird because everyone knows it. Anyone who knows me knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because you know what I mean. I don't know.
We can discuss that after.
Yeah, no, because I say this is all still being recorded. But it's okay.
Oh yeah, this is the raw. I'm telling you, it's what I do whenever I make something. I'm like, it's gonna look good in post.
Just throw it all. Yeah, no, for sure. It's good to have everything and then just kind of. It's good to throw a big old glab of crap on the wall and just cut it off and to make a perfect square.
Oh crap! Why did you throw all that crap on the wall?
But then you just kind of edge it out. You want to edge out all the rough stuff. You want to pick out the corn.
I wouldn't even if you did that at my house. I wouldn't let you back.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to make it a piece of art, you got to pick out all the corn and stuff, or maybe you can leave it.
Why is it always corn that people jump to whenever they say digging through shit? Because there's so much other crap that shows up.
Because corn is what always shows up. You eat corn, it comes out because we can't digest corn. Did you know that? The human body cannot digest corn. We eat it.
All right.
We eat something we can't digest.
You get nutrients from it, but in the end, it's that's.
I don't think we even get that much
terrifying. It just tastes really good, and it makes me feel happy.
It is really good. Did you know rabbits eat their own poop?
Dogs.
Rabbits religiously eat their own poop. Their poop is meant to be twice removed.
I hate rabbits.
I had a little rabbit for a while.
My condolences.
It's okay.
Anyway, that was the podcast. Let's go to part 2. This week's recommended, where we recommend.
I forgot.
Yeah, we recommend a podcast, a movie, or maybe a good old Bible movie and whatnot. I'm going to be honest, I am very critical of Christian entertainment. I think that if you want to tell a story, you need to have conflict more than just, he raped me, but I went to church, so it is good now. I think you should have a better story than just that. I'm not saying it's not the end-all be-all. I'm just saying, tell the story. Don't do es machina is already a big thing that I'm against. Let's have them struggle. Let's have them suck at stuff. Cam. That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I don't know what I would recommend. I mean, would I recommend the Bible?
if you,
No,
dude,
kidding.
if you
I'm
want,
so kidding.
I
I'm
would.
so kidding.
I would.
You'd take it, but you'd be like, "This is stupid."
I'd take it and I'd post it and I'd just be like, I'm just gonna whatever.
I'm just gonna. Whatever. Yeah, no, I'm not.
It's like,
No, but I'm sure everybody who listens to podcasts listens to Good Mythical Morning Written Link, but
you can recommend them.
I
that
always
works.
recommend them. They're so good. I love all the stuff they do. I love their ear biscuits. I was thinking about that, which is their podcast.
Oh, I didn't know they had
Yeah,
a
they
podcast.
do a podcast with no video, and it's a lot longer. They're more like an hour, just like these are. But they just kind of talk because they've been friends since forever.
Right.
Kindergarten.
Right.
So they have all these stories of things they've done, and they meet with people like famous people and stuff, and it's cool. It's cool.
It's cool.
So they do stuff like that. So I don't know. If you like these, you'll probably like Ear Biscuits by Red Link.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna be a lot less PG friendly,
No.
especially with the podcasts I've recorded already. Oof.
Yeah.
But that's a
I
good
don't know, it's
recommendation.
good. It's still good. It doesn't matter if you like dirty content or not. But like if you're not looking for it,
My entire family loves them. So.
those Red Link.
Oh yeah.
I like them. I like to think Carrie Ann likes them, but I don't think she likes them very much. I think she just kind of thinks they're whatever. But I like that Coyote Peterson guy. He's cool.
He's insane. Oh my god.
He's
I'm
so
gonna shoot
cool.
myself in the head. Will I survive?
I like the one. Well, see, they take precautions though. Like
He's
the one
going
with the
to-
snapping turtle. He was like, before we do this, remember that the giant snapping turtle one?
Yeah. What the hell is
He was
wrong
like,
with him?
he was like, hold on, before we do this, he's like, let's take this turkey leg and see what it does to it. He's like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
It
this.
snaps the turkey leg in half.
You're like, yeah, no, fuck that. So yeah,
He's such a weird.
he's cool too. Brave Wilderness,
He's gonna kill himself one of these days.
probably a lot less romantic of a way than Steve Irwin.
I would hope so.
You would hope so. I don't hope so. I don't
Wait.
hope the poor guy dies.
I hope that he wouldn't die. Meaning, like, I would hope. That,
Oh,
I have heard what you said with the Steve Irwin thing. I just heard Steve Irwin, and I was like, oh, I hope he doesn't
Steve
die.
Irwin. So sad.
He's a good guy. I recommend the rewatch some old Bill Nye. I don't recommend watching the new one.
I don't
It's
recommend Bill Nye anymore.
well, just the Disney. Was he on Disney?
I don't think so.
Whatever he was on, it was really good. I remember every single day we got to watch it was the greatest day ever in elementary school.
Yeah,
So I guess if you want some good old childhood nostalgia and you grew up on that, watch it again.
there you go.
Not the new one. Not the Netflix special. There's a thing where they sing about sexuality and it's
What was her name? Rachel
Mama
Bloom.
John-
Rachel
oh,
Bloom.
Oh,
That's what it was. Yeah.
I hate that's.
I
how
never
we're gonna
watched
end
the
this
special because I
podcast.
knew it was gonna be horrible. Don't watch Amy Schumer.
I hate her. She's not funny anymore.
She was
used-
never funny.
Listen, no, her beginning crap, it was good. It was raunchy. It was a good amount of raunchy, and it was good. But
The last
she
one
kept.
was literally just about a vagina.
You can't keep getting raunchier and raunchier and still expect to keep the
Funny.
same audience. Yeah. Like Louis C.K., I love him to death. He tells like really like, gross humor, but that's not all he does. He does other things. He talks about what it's like raising a family, being divorced, like really relatable topics and whatnot, So that's Amy Schumer just isn't that anymore. So yeah, thank you for showing up on the podcast.
Thanks.
Anytime.
It's good to be here.
A runabout. I'll steal it! No one will ever know! Hey, we're getting in a rut. No one will ever know! No one will ever know!
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 510, 550, 500.
No one will ever know! Oh, you haven't been thrashed enough yet, eh?
It's good to be here.
Okay, we should probably do an intro real quick.